Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us and welcome to our webinar, Smart Device Management and Efficient Workflows in Restaurants. I'm Savannah and I'm a marketing coordinator here at LocknCharge. Our speaker today is Josh Davis, Senior Director of Customer Engagement at LocknCharge. Josh is going to share LocknCharge's secret sauce to device management, and he'll walk through some recent customer stories. Before I pass it over to Josh, I would like to ask everyone to please mute your lines and submit any questions in the Zoom chat during the webinar. We will draw the Amazon gift card winner after the Q&A, so be sure to hang out till the end. And with that, I'll turn it over to Josh.
Hey, thanks, Savannah. And thanks everyone for joining today and taking a little bit of time out of your day. My name is Josh and I've been with LocknCharge here for a little over 8 years. And I've had the pleasure of working with many different customers in all verticals, but the one that seems to be getting a lot of attention and seeing a lot of movement towards mobility is you guys in the restaurant business. So we're here to share with you and some of the information that we've received over the past, I'd say 18 months or so, and helping restaurants implement small changes in technology, but still have a big impact on saving your business money each and every day. So we know that tech in restaurants is changing very quickly, and restaurant owners are faced with making several big decisions. Some of these changes have been forced from the pandemic, while others are just sort of the evolution of how to better serve your customers. And through all this, we've noticed some pretty cool new tech entering the market. Everything from, we've seen some AI, applications for order taking, all the cool drones and self-driving vehicles for food delivery, complicated systems that integrate with delivery companies like DoorDash and Uber Eats and more. However, many initiatives aim to improve the customer experience and streamline operations are complex, they're time-consuming and expensive. So many restaurants have already made investments in mobile POS technology to facilitate order taking at the table, as well as for drive-through ordering and curbside pickups. But what many haven't considered is how they're going to effectively charge and store those devices so they're always ready for use. Here's where LocknCharge can really help make a difference starting today. In talking with hundreds of restaurant owners and managers implementing mobile point of sales, we've heard firsthand the challenges with broken and lost devices and cables, and the frustration felt by employees when devices aren't charged. We've seen how unorganized storage and inefficient workflows slow down transaction times and decreases sales. We know mobile devices that mobile device charging and storage are only one small part of the equation, but we also know the right solution can make an instant and lasting impact on your bottom line with very little effort and cost. So let me tell you about a couple of our restaurant customers who have found success with our Putnam charging station for iPad devices. So let's start with one of the individual franchise owners of a very popular fast casual restaurant here in the Madison area. This restaurant started with a DIY solution, which I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with. They built their sort of homegrown solution to help manage their iPad devices. They had a very disorganized workflow with no designated spot to charge those devices. Charging cables were often tangled, broken, and in many cases, they were going missing as people will frequently have to, and I'm going to use air quotes here, borrow those cables to charge their phones. And store managers would waste valuable time and money replacing those cables. This was very frustrating for staff when devices weren't charged and ready for their shift. This location started out with the LocknCharge Putnam 8 charging station. And when they saw the results and they saw the impact it was making, for their business, they not only increased the number of iPads that they were using, but they also went to one of our larger Putnam cabinets, the Putnam 16. And what we found very quickly, or what they found, was that this, what they calculated was going to be able to save them roughly around $1,500 per year just by eliminating cable replacement costs. Implementing the Putnam streamlined an already speedy workflow for the restaurant. The compact station not only designates a home base for those devices, it also keeps them completely out of the way of the hustling employees fulfilling orders. The fast casual restaurant was also looking for ways to grow sales with their mobile technology. And to do this, they increased the speed of their drive-through. Rather than the traditional drive-through speaker system, employees were line busting, and they're standing by with their iPads to help take those orders at the vehicles in the drive-through lanes. And my last check-in with this particular store owner, he told me that they have repeatedly served over 200 cars per hour, and they're continuously breaking those records on a regular basis, which is amazing to me. But this iPOS system keeps the line moving at an incredible rate, with the average customer spending just 7 seconds at the pickup window. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we've also worked with large restaurant chains, and one large restaurant chain introduced iPad devices as mobile point of sales in their 1,200 locations to meet the demand of their growing curbside and carry-out orders and to facilitate tableside orders. They needed a centralized charging solution to ensure their iPad devices were always secure, charged, and ready for use. They were very concerned with the potential cost of replacing lost, stolen, or broken cables, as this is, for the most part, sort of that repeated cost or reoccurring cost when it comes to these types of solutions, which is going to be an issue for many of these restaurant owners. They also needed something that could withstand the wear and tear seen in the restaurant setting. After evaluating several charging solutions and manufacturers, they chose the Putnam 8 charging station by LocknCharge. This is an Apple-approved product that, again, aligned with those devices that they're already using. And if it's approved by Apple, they felt that it was going to be a trusted brand, if you will, and meet the standards of the product and those iPads. The station includes 8 MFI approved lightning cables. They are secured to the station, which eliminates the added effort and expense of replacing those expensive cables. External LED lights allows employees to know which devices are charged and ready to go at a glance. And most importantly, the high quality Putnam 8 gave the customer peace of mind. The station is made from a welded steel, and it boasts a lifetime warranty and is backed by a world-class customer support team here at LocknCharge, meaning their investment is supported long-term. iPad devices on the Putnam charging station are now considered a critical part of their business. So now that you've heard 2 customer success stories, let's recap all the reasons why restaurants are choosing the Putnam charging station and how it's helping them to save money. The first is that it creates a centralized point of organized and secure charging to speed up transaction times and increase sales. It saves time and money by reducing both device and cable breakage and theft. It saves money by reducing frustration of employees and retaining them long-term. Stations are durable enough to withstand heavy usage in the restaurant environment, which means that they have to, they don't have to be replaced as often. And again, because we're backed by our lifetime warranty on the cabinet, but also those cables, should anything ever go wrong, we'll either replace the parts or replace the units. So let's show you the star of the show, right? So, we've been talking about this Putnam cabinet. Just want to take you through a brief overview of this. The Putnam charging station is the most used in our lineup of solutions in the restaurant market. And I'll run through some of those features. So the first thing is that it's really easy to set up. And once it's unboxed, it's really a plug and play solution for you guys. What people like about this is you don't have to go through and do any of the cabling. There's no parts that can be removed. So as you can see here, I'm just going to bring my mouse over here. You can see that we have this lock that's integrated into the door, so you don't have missing keys or the missing padlocks themselves that will expose those devices. You have these external lights, and those are the ones that we talked about as far as the charge status. So you'll be able to see which devices are ready to go or which ones are still charging. And you have these the integrated cables as well. So that means that those cables cannot be removed. They can't be unplugged. They're actually plugged and then secured into the charging cabinet itself. It's a small footprint. This is a solution, either the 8 or the 16. It can be obviously, set onto a counter, but as you saw in the previous slide, it can be mounted to a wall as well. So we have mounting brackets that allow you to place these on the wall if counter space is limited. So that's just want to make sure we hit on all of these. Countertop, fully welded steel construction. That's, again, we've seen some of these solutions where maybe they're made out of plastic or something like that. Especially if you're looking at things that might be more of the consumer grade products. If you guys are looking at those homegrown solutions and you guys are buying things are meant for not the rigorous environment of a restaurant, but maybe just home use and an occasional couple times a day plugging in and out of maybe your phone or iPads. And of course, we're backed by a lifetime warranty on the whole cabinet itself, along with those cables. So yeah, so regardless of your charging and security challenges, LocknCharge is far from just a charging solution provider. Our goal is really to work with you to find the best solution and device that matches the workflow of your business. So I'd like to, thank our restaurant owners and managers for joining us. Hopefully you found this to be helpful. I also like to thank our partners. I saw we have a few of them on here as well. LocknCharge partners with several resellers and service providers that you're probably already using or working with to provide those devices and those necessary accessories to go along with them. I'm sorry, yeah, this is just the, a close-up of those cables. So you can see they're right angled, over molded, and measured for length for those iPads when you're putting them in for charging. So to get you started, we're offering a try before you buy program. So test out a Putnam charging station or any of our other products to see firsthand how it can positively impact your business and your bottom line. To learn more about how LocknCharge is helping restaurants find success, please visit our LocknCharge.com/restaurants. There you'll find product demos, you can find articles, case studies, webinars, additional product recommendations, and more. And again, just want to thank everyone for joining us today. But before I turn this back over to Savannah to see if we have any questions, I'd like to just play this short video so that you can see how durable the Putnam charging station is. And this is sort of our secret sauce, if you will. But please don't try this at home, folks. So I look forward to helping you transform your restaurant and making mobility a part of the day-to-day operations. We're here to help you, with any questions that you might have. So please feel free to reach out to me, and my information is here on this last slide here at josh.d@LocknCharge.com, or you can reach out to me at 608-395-3336. So I'll hand it back over to Savannah for any questions or any other comments.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Josh. We'll jump into the Q&A. If you haven't already, please add any questions you have to the chat, or you can unmute now and ask Josh directly. We did have a few questions submitted before the webinar, so I'll run through those and see if they spark any questions from those that are on with us today, and then give you guys some time to either enter those questions into the chat now. So Josh, we'll start off with, How can someone purchase a Putnam charging station?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, we work with a number of different partners. So what I would recommend is whoever you're buying your iPads from, or maybe the cases are going on those devices, or any of the technology needs of your restaurant. More than likely, it's probably somebody that we also work with. So reach out to your reps. If you don't have one, you can reach out to us here at LocknCharge, and we'll definitely help facilitate and find someone that you can partner with, whether it's someone that's regional to your area or someone that maybe is already working, depending on your level, whether it's a franchise level or maybe it's the corporate level altogether. So, whether it's you might know those people, or obviously reach out to us and we'll help facilitate that.
Awesome. And Josh, we have a question in the chat, and the question is, are the cables switchable or interchangeable with different types of cables in the Putnam?
Yeah, that's a great question. That comes up quite a bit. Yes, the short answer is that the Putnam is pre-wired, right, with those MFI approved cables, those lightning cables. But we understand that there's going to be a number of other things that might go into this cabinet, and we actually have restaurants that have things like credit card readers. That's probably the next. That's probably the next most used device that requires some charging and may want to get locked up. Sometimes there might be even the radios. It sort of depends on the thickness of these other products as well. But we do provide the same over-molded right angle micro USB cables, but some of these credit card readers are now going to like a USB-C. And I have seen and have confirmation from companies that are using USB-C credit card readers that they're just putting those cables, as long as it's a USB-A-N. So in other words, the part that would plug into the Putnam cabinet has to be sort of that standard USB plug. The end that plugs into the device could be any number of different connectors, right? So we have Lightning, micro USB, USB-C. So as long as it has the ability to plug into that power source, for the most part, almost everything will work. And I say that just with an asterisk because you might have a USB-C device that maybe requires a different power requirements. Most of the things that fall in the tablet range are going to be fine, will be fine. But USB-C is just one of those tricky things because sometimes it depends a little bit on the device itself as well and the power requirements. But so far, we have not come across the smaller mobile devices in the tablet form or credit card readers that does not work in the Putnam, even if you're swapping out cables.
Yeah, that was a great question. Another question, Josh, is how is the Putnam different than a tablet or charging station that I can find on Amazon?
We get a lot of people that come to us after they have gone down this path, and I think it goes back again to this idea about a consumer grade product, right? And this is, again, you're going to find things out there for probably 20, 30, maybe $50 that looks like, hey, this is going to be the perfect thing. It's got power, I can charge my iPads, but it probably was never thought of or designed to work in those environments that you have in the back of the house, front of the house, multiple plugins per day, right? This is, the environment that you guys are in is a strenuous one on those devices and everything going into them. So, when we start talking about consumer versus really commercial grade, with us, with the Putnam cabinet really being a welded steel construction to withstand, people coming by, slamming doors, our over molded cables, being able to take multiple plugging in and plugging out multiple times a day, 100 times a month, thousands of times per year. That's really what we're talking about. And I think the biggest thing that I can say on that is, you might go ahead and maybe it lasts you, maybe a couple months and you're replacing it. That's what we're talking about earlier about the replacement cost. we're backed by a lifetime warranty, not only on the actual cabinet, but let's just say, and actually just recently someone told me that someone broke the tip off of the lightning connector, right? The lightning cable. And they're like, I'm sure this isn't covered because it's our fault. Somebody just, snapped it off. We shipped them additional cables to replace it with. So all that is covered under the lifetime warranty. Now, I think that's probably the biggest thing that we see the benefit of, is that commercial grade, plus you really don't have to worry about should something fail. And if we can't get you the right part, we will go ahead and just send you another unit.
And another question, Josh, is how long does it take to set up the Putnam charging station?
I just did a video not too long ago about this, and it was just had a time lapse, and I think the longest part that it took to set it up was getting it out of the box, actually, Savannah. So once it's out of the box, you basically really all you have to do is plug the unit in. As I mentioned, the Putnam is actually, it's pre-wired, so we don't even it's not that it comes with cables. It comes, the cable's already pre-installed, right? So when you plug it in, you're basically going to go ahead and start plugging your iPads in and start charging them. So very little time, and like I said, I think it took me longer to get it out of the box than it did to actually start charging iPads.
Awesome. Well, we'll do a last call from everyone who's on the webinar with us for any questions. All right, and like Josh mentioned before, if you guys think of any questions after the webinar, feel free to reach out to Josh directly, and his contact info is still up on the screen share here, or you can go directly to the LocknCharge site and contact us through there. But now we'll wrap up the webinar with the gift card drawing. So we'll do our random drawing here. And the winner is Frank Cleveland. So congrats, Frank. I'll follow up with you directly after the webinar, but I'll ask everyone to keep an eye on your inbox for an email with the webinar recording. Feel free to share this recording with any colleagues or friends who you think might be interested. And I just want to thank everyone again for joining us today. And thanks to Josh for the great presentation. And I hope everyone has a great afternoon.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.